and this is something Donald Trump has talked about, the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Bondi has faced mounting criticism over those comments to this day, with many questioning what was known about Epstein's network. However, no verified public record has confirmed the existence of a definitive client list.
Epstein, who died in 2019 while awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges, had ties to high-profile figures, many of them around the world, fueling years of speculation.
So for now, as key questions remain unanswered and leadership changes, the political fallout appears to be intensifying.
Joining us now to discuss is trial attorney Mark Geragos. Mark, always great to have you with us on American Agenda. We've heard differing reactions to the firing of Pam Bondi. What's yours?
Well, I know Pam. I've known her for a long time, and I consider her a friend. So it's always, you never want to see a friend get fired. At the same time, I watched your prior segment. I couldn't agree more with those who say that the lawyer's lawyer is Harmeet Dhillon. Whether you agree with Harmeet's policies or not, she's a real lawyer and has, I think, in this Department of Justice, been clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. She's executed an agenda in the Civil Rights Division like nothing I've ever seen, and my day job is nothing but civil rights work. And while I may not agree with everything she's done, clearly she is a real lawyer, a real litigator, and has run her own law firm. So and she's whipped into shape the Civil Rights Unit, and my suspicion is that she's also the only one that could get confirmed out of all the names being bandied about.
Mark, let me ask you this. We just heard from Joe and Vic. Obviously, you were listening. They said some of these cases, especially in South Florida, they should be much further along than they are under Pam Bondi's watch, her leadership here. Would you agree with them on that?
I don't know. It's easy to throw bricks from the sidelines as to the machinations. I don't second guess that, but as a practical matter, I think that somebody had to kind of walk the plank. A lot of times it's unfairly, but when you're a lawyer, you have to suffer the consequences and put on your so-called big boy pants. And that's Pam has done that basically. I just think now it's a crucial time if you want the Department of Justice to have kind of the credibility, because it's had its challenges in the last year, both from judges and internally and outside from kind of the critics. You need somebody who's going to get in there and right the ship.
Yeah, Mark, we're also, just to remind everybody, the House Oversight Committee was scheduled to depose Pam Bondi on April 14th over, of course, the Justice Department's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and its handling of the investigative materials in the case. But Bondi had not yet committed to appearing. That's what we're hearing reported by the New York Times. Do you think that also factored into the news today?
Well, it's a great question, because I rarely think that there are coincidences, and I think that is it would be one of the most massive coincidences of all time. I mean, it's clear that there's going to be and has been second guessing of her handling of this. It's clear that she had lost the support of his base. And I think that that's important. I mean, he needs his base going into the midterms, and she didn't have the support of the base.
So, Mark, let me ask you this then. How does the next attorney general, whoever that might be, execute that office as well as staying in good standing with the president of the United States right now, obviously, which is President Trump?
Well, look, Todd Blanche has been named the acting attorney general. And Todd represented the president. So there is an attorney-client relationship. I can tell you that when you've been in the trenches with a client and done a trial with a client, there is a certain bonding that goes on. And so Todd will have his ear. Whether Todd ultimately is the choice, obviously is up to the prerogative of the president. If Todd does not want the job, my guess is they're going to do the political calculations as to who can be confirmed. Because remember, the acting attorney general can stay there for a period of time. But given all of the last year and all of the things that have gone on both in New Jersey and Nevada and California in terms of attorney generals and acting AUSAs and acting U.S. attorneys and all of the kind of bric-a-brac, I think that the smart political money is find somebody who not only has support of the base but can actually get confirmed by the Senate, so you don't have all of these legal challenges. I mean, I've got cases in all three of those jurisdictions right now, the Nevada, New Jersey, and California, where there have been challenges to the U.S. attorneys there. And that's becomes a sideshow. And by the way, the judges, the federal district judges, don't have a real sense of humor about it.
Mark, you had said that you thought Harmeet Dhillon might be the only one who could get approved. Our previous guest mentioned Jeanine Pirro as well. What do you think about that?
Look, I also, it's shocking to me how many people I consider to be friends in this administration. Jeanine is one that I consider to be a friend, and I've known her for 30 years and frankly adore her, even though she owes me a Lebanese home-cooked meal. The fact remains, I don't think Jeanine could get confirmed. I just don't. And she is loved by the base. But if you do the analysis, full disclosure, I've been co-counsel with Harmeet before she was the present position, and I consider her also a friend. And the problem that I think Jeanine has is something that is unique to Harmeet. Harmeet has a devoted following, whether it is the gun rights people, where she's been on the forefront, whether it's her, I often tease her about her knitting and her beanies. But the MAGA-verse loves Harmeet, number one. Number two, she is a real lawyer. I've been in the trenches with her. I mean, she is somebody who is a lawyer's lawyer. Even if you disagree with her, she knows how to try a case. She has been in there. She knows how to manage a firm. So I don't want to sound like her PR person here, but
you or Joe or Vic all seem to be pretty high on Harmeet. Yeah.
And by the way, I've had my, kind of my all back and forth with Joe over the years, and Victoria as well. But I think we all agree that Harmeet is the choice here. And
the lawyer's lawyer.
We're
seeing that happen in real time. Yeah.
Gotta be tough. All right, Mark Geragos, great to see you.
Yeah,
thanks for
Mark.
the analysis.
Thank you.
All right.